Hello and welcome everybody. I think Launders knew what he was doing. This is CEVO-Gfinity Season 9 Pro League. Still looking for another team from Europe to join the fun in London. It's E-frag and Hellraisers today. Map 1, Cash, and a best of 3. I'm Helium, and with me... got Launders. I thought you were going to finish it. I thought we finished each other's sandwiches.
Our chemistry's not that good.
That's true. It's been a while since we've done a LAN together.
Had no idea how to fill in the end of that sentence.
So, all Kevlar for E-frag. Dreamer spotting it. It's actually like retake on B.
Known as a kid.
Yeah, which is
B's
kind of
not the
weird.
spot they want to retake, and they have 2 on A. Oh, nice shot from Dream.
Oh my goodness, he just starts tapping, and Zero's gonna walk straight into it. I think some feet were spotted by the side of that smoke, so Oscar will come away with a goosh, or a gush, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Spy Leader gets Angel out there in middle, and now they're gonna challenge into CT, and Oscar will come away with a kill there. 2 on 4 into a 2 on 3 right now. I think a head was spotted in upper. Bondic! Oh, what's up, Bondic? Playing for Hellraisers now, of course. Recent developments there, and I saw just recently that it's maybe Waylander who's stepping into play for Flipside. So it's like that all resolved itself pretty quickly.
Yeah. No, again, it's like 3 armor versus 2 here, so no utility at all. They just got to hit shots in Oscar as the raid boss gets 2 kills with the Tech 9, puts the bomb down default. The thing is, they can push up on him, and Bondic needs to watch his run up, but doesn't, and gets killed as he's basically trying to retake the site 1v2. In that situation, like, he had no choice but to help. I mean, he assumed that E-frag were going to take a little bit more time coming a bomb wall, but that was his best opportunity to get the kill as they were crossing, and he missed the first guy, probably couldn't call it. Oscar got taken down. I think Hellraisers was fortunate to get a plant, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, considering it was like 2v4, Oscar got a kill in CT, got out of B site. A series of fortunate events up until that point.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that he came away with those 2 kills, was able to get that bomb out from B where it was down in the open, bring it all the way back to A, find a plant. But surprisingly enough, that even though they do plant, Hellraisers will go straight in for a force, so trying to surprise E-frag a little bit instead of taking the full eco here, and then coming out with a rifle in the third.
Yeah, E-frag are fully torqued right now. They have a bunch of M4s and 1 MP7. So
never fight another man fully torqued, Launders.
more NA references, I think.
I feel like a lot of people will get that one.
Yeah. Anyone cultured.
I don't know if culture is the right term, but here's NKL from Fence, kind of sliding over into the A site, taking his battles with the FAMAS. It'll be Spy Leader with the first kill, and NKL steered straight into the eyes of that flash. Imagine if flashbangs had googly eyes on them when you threw them, that would be great. Bomb's gonna go down, so 3 on 3. Also note, Angel using the CZ on the T side, Launders.
No shame. He wants to win, man. You can't fault him for pulling out the CZ on both sides.
Yeah, I think there's a claim. Like, have 1 or 2 people use it on T side, but certainly need that running gun potential as Bubble is trying to clear out A main. And jumping and spotting Bondic, he will take him down. It's 11 HP for it, able to come out and do some more damage to Stiko. And Dreamer better get it done. Bubble's not all that healthy. Zero will get the kill, but it's actually Bubble behind, who is not being engaged, and he's got this defuse in the nick of time.
Very close one. Yeah, that came down to just 1 single frag, and Bubble with 11 HP doesn't get that kill. If he didn't get the kill A main, you know they lose. If Zero kills his man faster and then does a 180, all he has to do is 1 hit to Bubble, and he's dead. So E-frag very fortunate, I think, to win that round. And because Hellraisers got 2 plants, even though they bought last round, they've decided to buy 1 more time, and they smell blood. I can understand why. It was E-frag to only have 1 player alive. I think this buy is fully justified, and especially considering how much utility they have. I think a lot of teams in this situation would end up just going like as many AKs as they can get, but the utility makes this round more promising, in my opinion.
That nade did 11 damage.
Oh, wow.
Across 3 people. Looks like it went off on top of them. Sandbags, Molotov. Didn't even need to use the smoke, because the Molotov was actually very bad. There's I guess maybe the last 3 seconds of it might have spread to Sandbags. Either way, Victor's dead. The Molotov and the smoke having something to do with that. Spy leader knows someone's got a white box. He certainly knows now, but Oscar will not lose that. Well, okay, I guess he does. Angel from behind with the CZ will kill his teammate. Bubble then cleans up Angel, so we've got a 3-on-3. Dreamer playing in everybody's favorite spot. Back there in Checker, he comes away with 2. Stiko and Zero are down. And now it's up to Bondic, 1 versus 3, trying to cause some damage. Hellraisers have, of course, gone for a force up again. They'll need to kill more than one person to consider this any sort of a success.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good setup at B. I don't think I would have expected, knowing someone was in vent, expecting if I were to cross B main and go in checker, that I would have to worry about checker box as well as vent. I mean, it's the ideal crossfire, but it's just not what you'd expect, especially in a 3v3. But since E-frag were there to kick it off, and they lost 2 people, and no one moved, they had a really, really good setup for Hellraisers to just go B in that situation. So, kind of a misread by them. And now Hellraisers will finally have to save. No armor this time, just a couple of deagles. I think they spotted Spy Leader pushed into Squeaky, so he's in a precarious spot with no help.
Angel should change the 1 in his name to a -1. That's kind of rough, though. Sitting -1 and 4 on the scoreboard right now. And they are getting ripped apart here. Spy Leader did come away with 2, but he just had an MP9, so Oscar's able to pick up that one. Still fighting with the Deagle, of course, at range, out of Squeaky. But NKL going to stop the nonsense, and E-frag out to a 4-0 lead here on their CT side.
It's been a difficult path, and now Hellraisers have another bye. This time, Oscar's going to have an op. And yeah, they're trying to keep E-frag's backs up against the wall, but they just survived that round so convincingly that they've been able to, after all the buys that they've had to go up against, save a little bit of money. Now they're seeing the smokes come out. One actually lands at the sandbag, and that was a Z smoke, so that helps him out. Angel, though, comes out with a quick headshot, and that's going to change the round really quickly. No one's died yet on Hellraisers or even taken that much damage.
And Victor's trying to manipulate the smoke, jumping up on the railing there of the Z-connector middle to see over it. Decides to then just peek out on the ground. Oscar will take him out, and prior to that, Angel actually found 2, but we did see that kill that he got on the man who peeked over white box. So the round fell apart very quickly for E-frag out there in middle. Or even on round 2, when Hellraisers forced up, they were able to take over that mid control pretty easily. That Molotov to the sandbag seems like it's going to be a staple of their T side here. It might as well be every single time, right?
Yeah, it's just good measure. It's always small like that. It's so easy to do. You can do it safely. Large peak control.
Oh wow, good timing by NKL to peek down highway. Finds Angel. Picking up nades and swapping out guns. NKL finds 2, make it a 3rd as he pulls the spin move back over to highway, brings down Bondic, and Dreamer actually has a chance on this round. Smoke will go down, and they hear the pitter-patter of the bullets on the wall, I'm sure. So they pull that audible, and they're off to that other site.
Wow, that's a curious rotate. I mean, they do get away from the site really quickly, and I guess they get into B, and Dreamer's just going to assume that they're going to want to re-aggress on A. So I guess they give it up. Kind of interesting, though. I don't see how B is a better option than A now at that moment.
Yeah, because the CT rotation's faster if they don't delay, and you can see they actually did pretty much get here around the same time, and someone's eventually going to peek, you would think, for information off of this site, since both players have the post plant on the B site, and Dreamer is just waiting for that moment. Oh, was starting to doubt himself even. Now he will drop off. Noise has been made, and the patience of Hellraisers will probably get them 1 round on the board. Dreamer's still going to go in for it, though. Next default first, and Stiko comes away with a quick headshot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I mean, I think they knew that no matter what site they went to, they'd be able to get a plant, because you see that truck smoke, it's like for the same reason that it doesn't really make that much sense to go B in our heads. It wouldn't really make sense for Dreamer either. The Dreamer's probably thinking, okay, no matter what, they're going to be able to cross, and they're going to peek 2v1, so I'm going to probably have to delay to get on A site. And if I do go onto the site and they're running back to B, then I'm that much farther. So I think, you know, either play made sense. I thought it was just kind of an interesting decision to run it back at that moment.
Yeah, and overall, I thought Dreamer I saw him winning that 1v2, like with that patience sitting on that catwalk. I thought for sure someone would peek, but then he gets out patience by Hellraisers. And
Yeah,
CEVO will take him down in the final moments.
It's a pretty cool crossfire. Like if you're sitting on the site to have the spam box guy watch your headshot run up, and then your default guy basically look whatever he wants. But yeah, you would think Zero in that situation might get anxious. So yeah, you can totally see him, I think, justifiably peeking to make sure no one's walking up on him, but he didn't do it. So good on him for that.
Not too surprising to see Hellraisers out in middle. Looks like E-frag played it a little more passive around the middle of the map, considering every single one of them is alive. Angel did take some damage. I think he got tagged up by Bubble. That would make sense. And the 14 HP.
Always scary for Hellraisers, I think, to take mid. It's a very nice thing to happen. Whoa, Zero gets that kill on A main. A dry peek in after mid control is taken. That was a little bit risky, I want to say. NKL now doing so much work at A. Gets the second frag from Fence.
Yeah, NKL, not generally the player whose name you're saying all the time when it comes to E-frag, but he's having an insane game here. He's 9-4 right now. Most kills on his team for sure. Most kills in the server. It's Oscar with 7 on Hellraisers.
And at least 5 of those are right.
Yeah.
Double peek. Some Hellraisers just clean that up on Angel, who was very low. But NKL getting 2 frags one more time. I mean, what more can I do? That's a moment where you just gotta pat yourself on the back, because that was his job on the site. I mean, it's his job to get 1 kill, honestly, but he ends up doing the brunt of the work for both of his teammates.
Yeah, he almost didn't even get the first kill. He was like looking at his M4 like, hello, did someone load this? But that second kill he hit instantly. The guy had no chance.
Warmed up.
As Nade gonna go in, a little bit of damage here to Angel. They look to be doing some sort of a take on to A. It'll be Stico out of the doors. No one coming up highway. There's no mid support here from Hellraisers. Victor gonna run out through the fire and the flames. We'll find the bullets of the M4s. NKL coming away with just 2. As you don't often see those triple kills with the A1S. There's not enough bullets, and feels a Galil moment there for Bondic as he comes away with nothing.
Yeah, so E-frag
actually he did get a kill, but
did get a kill. Now, E-frag have like the ideal situation right now on CT side. Economically, they're doing great because they've won the 5 rounds in a row. They made Hellraisers lose 1, and then Scott's gonna force up, survive that round as well, and with players alive. So Hellraisers have been doing a good job keeping the money low, because they're like, I think they bought in all the right situations, and most of the time have made it worth their while, apart from not actually winning the round. And E-frag, oh, why the E-frag? NKL has a 5-7 on A site, and he's been getting 2 kills. No, yeah, we hate that. We hate that so
I hate
much.
to see it. I mean, let's see.
He's been a turret at A, and he's stuck with a 5-7 and no nades.
Yeah, I'd say it's Spy Leader. I believe Spy Leader is also the IGL, right? Like, why not just give NKL this AK?
He certainly should. Like, especially if he's playing the more powerful position on the site.
Well, it may not matter, given the fact that it's just Glocks here for Hellraisers. 2 P250s, actually. Stico and Bondic are pretty low, but it's interesting, to say the least. NKL, how much money does he actually have? He's got $1,800. I mean, he could have bought an MP9 or a UMP.
That would have been a much better decision, yeah. Because then, I mean, even buying that just to farm up, you get the kills, and you don't get glocked, and you get...
Got glocked.
Yeah, you get a lot more money. So that's, yeah, it's a rebuy now.
Damn, Victor. That was a nice shot. Onto Angel. Quick little peek. Oh, and they will push in right behind them. They're going to throw the bomb down, go for a boost. Zero to pick back up the package. Bondic's going to try to lurk. But I don't know how successful that's going to be, because it doesn't seem like... Oh, the bomb's going to come out middle too, so they just went upper and lower at the same time. Trying to split into vents. They will do that, but Dreamer's waiting for them at the blue tarp, so with a FAMAS, he'll bring down 2.
How do you feel about this music kit?
The High Noon one?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty sick. I like it. Especially if you use the revolver, right? Get MVP with the revolver and then it just plays some Western music.
How do you feel about the revolver?
I feel pretty bad, man. feels great, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine now because the weapon's garbage. But before it was obviously just pure insanity. I will admit though, I had a lot of fun on those 3 days. I was crying the whole time because I'm like, Counter-Strike is dead, but it was still a good time.
Oh.
I don't know how Oscar misses that.
Yeah, that looked like it was in him, but came up for the repeat, got punished for it, and once again, Hellraisers are down. The trades are almost always favorable for E-frag, moving into the late round. It's pretty interesting. One thing is that how Hellraisers play these 2vx situations, they always have like a different strategy besides just at the site that we're about to go to. They like to go back through maybe they're gonna make it seem like, I don't know, if Stiko's gonna scope here, it's just gonna give everything away, especially since he has the bomb. But he's throwing a smoke too, so I don't know if he's gonna get Zero to try to catch a rotator, or if that's even going to be possible. Oh, might have the opportunity. How did Dreamer get there? Is it the B push? Yeah, oh, it is. And that's a shutdown. Pretty fast. Yeah, so Hellraisers, you know, they have ideas, they're trying new things, but it's not working. E-frag are also, on the rounds they're winning, doing a good job of getting the trades, including the first kill. And just the economic game is just going wildly in their favor. Hellraisers have been on saves or force for almost every single round they played in this half.
Yeah, it seems like they started this game on tilt. I mean, I know Hellraisers certainly has a
I think all they're buying
a trend of force buying, but
I think all the buys they did were justified. I mean, maybe you don't buy the second round.
Well, they forced second and third round, which I thought was kind of strange.
Yeah, but they forced third round because they killed 4 people on the second round.
Yeah, that's true.
Good flash. Super good flash. This is like exactly what the first team need for that flash.
Oh, Bubble, I thought he was going to maybe push it. We'll actually get a little bit more damage done onto Zero, as Oscar came away with another kill onto Spy Leader. And I think that was maybe someone at middle. Yeah, I think it was a player at White Box that went down.
In this situation, you're probably not going to win sitting on the site with no armor, so it's going to be really tough for them if they don't try to get a kill. Bad molly, though.
Yeah, it's
This
Bubble on fire.
Stack right here.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, he comes around the corner, brings down Bond, and Victor knows where he is. Can he chain the spray together? 9 bullets left now. 1 versus 1. He can tap the bomb, he can play the mind games, and he's going around default. He will find Stiko jumping up out of the trash pit. Does he have the time? Victor on 3 HP.
Oh, he does have it. Wow.
That's Victor.
Who's that? That's Vegas.
He's got a 1G in his name.
Yeah, he does. That was a hella close round. I mean, for the full eco. That pop flash to kill your B guy, if he dies before he can even call it there's a rush, you know it's a bad sign. So the bomb going down, no surprise there. And Hellraisers almost winning, but also losing, no surprise there. I mean, they're sitting in all the correct after plan spots, but they're doing it with a couple of pistols, no armor. It should have been around E-frag to just clean up, but they almost won. It was very close. And therefore another round that has some merit to it, but doesn't say much for them when they're down 9-1. And they don't get the sentry. NKL gets another 2 frags on
It's deja vu. NKL. We call this NKL spot instead of MBK spot because he's just been so good. Fired will bring down Zero. He gets the bomb down first, so Hellraisers with a stimulus package for the economy with the bomb plant, but still another dominant round for E-frag, who, always worth adding, are on the CT side, a side they can very often throw away. It's E-frag who are known for their terrorist performances.
Yeah, it's true. That's very true. And I think Hellraisers, they're just trying to do a straight up 8-take and just got shut down by NKL. No fence was not flashed, and they try to do it pretty loose. They're like, let's get through the smoke, and hopefully no one's peeking us at the moment, and then maybe we trade them out. But NKL again, just solid on A site, just so good.
Hellraisers, this is one of their better looking rounds in terms of the equipment value. Full buy. And very early on, we saw them always going for that mid aggression. Thought it was going to be something they kept doing. It looked like they usually had success taking control of mid, but haven't been doing it the last couple times.
Yeah, E-frag have been giving up mid at all the right times. They had got punished for it before, but NKL will always pick up the slack. And will he do it again?
KL again.
Uh-oh.
Boop.
Will he do it again?
0 bullets here. He's gonna have to, yeah, he can't even. Peeks a little too far off the right while trying to hide from the guy pushing up on his left, and he gets taken out by Zero. Zero then also finding a headshot onto Victor, so Hellraisers not worried about map control that round. They all set up for A, and they will take it. But will E-frag take it back? A nade from Spy Leader takes Bondic, I believe, off of the forklift position. Still 3 players up right now, and it's going to be Oscar probably in the round-winning position. He's behind them on Highway. There's his first kill, and Stiko peeking from quad to find Spy Leader.
Nice, well played, and yeah, NKL doesn't get 2 kills and they lose at A, so maybe Hellraisers recognize that they're just letting someone multi-frag too often. The issue for them is that it's late in the half now. They tried a bunch of things, including mid-control, including A and B hits, and they don't want to be able, they don't want to just try to do the same thing over and over again. Those smokes, though, were a little bit different on A site, and I think they might recognize this, so they could potentially go for mid-control first and then hit A, because they know that mid is often given up for free. Or they could just set up and do the exact same thing in A again. But, oh, and NKL goes down. Angel, wow, what a couple of frags there. That was beautiful.
He just rebounded nicely. Remember, he was at -1, so that actually makes 8 kills for him. So that's actually the second most on his team.
9 if you count that.
And I would say a 9 if you count when he killed Oscar. That's the way I like to look at it. Wow, Spy Leader will go in, and it looks like he went alone, but Victor was there. He was ready to help facilitate that trade. It just wasn't needed, and that'll even it up to a 3-on-3. Still a lot of utility for Hellraisers, so they're in an okay spot in the round. Angel's a little low, but they can still make it work, and they're probably going to need to. They do only have 2 rounds.
I'm actually super surprised. E-frag just read them really well in that situation. Now they're 3-1-1-1, but... Or like 1-1-1 as in you have 1 back CT, 1 A, and 1 B. But they read that situation perfectly. When Hellraiser stopped making noise, they re-aggressed A main, which, wow, seems
That's
like
insane.
Seemed like a sketchy decision, but what a nice shot from Oscar to open up one side of the map. And it looks like it's going to be some type of B hit here. Now Bubble has some work to do if this is the case. Gets smoked out in the rotator position, gets the frag with the nade.
Yeah, man. Gets smoked off. He had that angle, throws the nade into B main, starts spraying. Does a little bit of damage, the nade will finish it off. And now Bubble pushing through. Footsteps have got to be heard. Planning on the back wall. Oscar's like, all right, thought I had you covered. I'm sorry. But Oscar's his scope, it was perfectly evaded there. And that'll win the round on time. Actually, they will frag it out. Spy Leader with the kill.
Ooh, and that rotation maybe hurts them a little bit because it's like they're trying really hard to get E-frag to evacuate each site that they want to go to, and Hellraisers killed 1 player at forklift and then decided to run it back to B because they're hoping E-frag would run in stack A, but Bubble didn't actually move. He was just in a rotator spot, which is not that bad in itself, but Hellraisers couldn't take advantage of it fully, allowed him to get a kill and then ultimately a second.
Bubble find that kill. Bubble with the op takes down Angel. Oscar over the top takes Victor out of sandbags, but Spy Leader is there to again trade out. They maintain the man advantage, and it's Hellraisers. Looks like they're going to send 1 over the boost and again try to set up. Taking, I mean, try to say a late round, but it's not very late in the round. It's only about 30 seconds. I'll take some mid control here. Bondic up on the boost, not seeing anything. Should be aware Spy Leader could be at white box. We of course know that he's fallen back to A. Where do they go from here? They've got 3 smokes left.
Well, with mid, you can try to wait. You have a whole minute, and so you can try to look for a kill. If they don't think there's an op at A, it'd be worth trying to find the kill on the A site.
Dreamer again.
Yeah, wow. That's just gonna be the round. Most likely they have the bomb, and he gets a second frag. So the sideway walk up is not going to be that useful anymore. 40 seconds left. Bondic has 34 health. And it's getting flanked from Z as well. So E-frag clean that up and push B at the correct time. So Hellraisers, when they forfeited mid in the past, have been very weak at Squeaky and B. B main's the only spot that they seem to have pushed. E-frag have only pushed, or Hellraisers have forfeited their man at B to have extra manpower at mid. And I think E-frag recognized that and know that they're able to push an extremity of the map. And that's why they're so comfortable giving up mid. It can be scary if you give up mid and then a fast split comes out, but E-frag seem to be perfectly fine with that. And have pretty fortified defenses on each site with their players fragging so well.
Yeah, they actually will set up for a retake here, wanting to not play those close angles against the pesky Tech 9s and CZs. And Bondic with the Galil again, actually. Second time we've seen him with the Galil and his team just going for the pistol's utility. Well, NKL might have spotted some feet as the smoke was starting to dissipate. He goes up on the electrical box. Oscar will take him down from Portland. So Spy Leader knows where he is, but he can't do anything about it. Oscar with the Tech 9 getting another quick one. And it looks like the last round of the half will go the way of Hellraisers. Bubble gonna jam in a new magazine, 20 bullets, actually 21 to work with. Can he be like Mike and get this done? He might just. He finds Angel. He's gonna get onto the bomb now. He's sticking it. Bondic coming with the Galil spray, and oh! A second or less left. Bondic with his 4th kill. We'll get that last round of the half. It's 12-3, but E-frag dominant on that CT side.
Yeah, yeesh. And Hellraisers, 2 of 3 of the rounds they won. Well, yeah, Bondic actually stopped that very, very close round, but 2 of the 3 of the rounds that Hellraisers won were based off that exact same A take. And the other one earlier in the half, I want to say, is that an A hit as well? It might have been. I actually can't remember. But the last 2 rounds they won.
Talk about round 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Memory not going to be able to go back that far.
So the last 2 rounds that they were able to win was off those 2 smokes that smoke off truck and leave.
No, that was in B. That was when they smoked off truck, but then rotated because they heard the bullets, and then they went to B and both played the site.
That's right. That's right. So Zero and Stigo on the site.
Yeah.
And they waited for I think it was Dreamer up in heaven, but that was. But so for the rounds that they did win, 2 of them they did with a full-on A take, and I think that when they found out that A take worked so well because they tried 3 different A takes. That one so late in the half, they didn't want to use it over and over again and tried to reinvent themselves, see if they could maximize the amount of rounds they could get, but they couldn't do it. So Victor goes down to 0 and Squeaky, who crouch peeks around the broken wall.
Yeah, that's the kill that Victor probably should have had, but I think you touched on it there. The crouch peek might have caught him off guard. And we'll go 4-on-4. So all in all, the CT aggression in A main straight up didn't work at all. It didn't even do a point of damage to any of the members of E-frag in there. But it's Zero who came away with the kill over there in Squeaky, having pushed through, and Oscar knowing that it's not going to be all that safe to retreat. And same thing for Zero. Actually, both of them were up in Squeaky. It's going to be an interesting round with those guys stuck up in Squeaky. You'd think they would have known. Yeah, they will check it. That goes 1 for 1. NKL with the kill there. Continuing to get these frags on the A site. He does have an A in his name. Is that a coincidence? And that Spy Leader trying to plant just a little bit, you know, the default plant, but planting off the site so you can run out a bit easier. But then it gets him caught from Squeaky. They did not expect 2 people to be in there. Man up on the highway pit stop. And Dreamer turns to find 1, but it's Hellraisers that get the pistol.
Ironically, it was Zero to get the first kill, wasn't it? So
yes. Yeah, they should have known he was still there.
Yeah.
If they were really paying attention.
I think it's fair to pay attention to that. So like even the guy who dies, for example, I think some people don't when they see things like, oh, maybe he didn't notice the timer goes down, or like the time in red or something like that. Everyone always knows how much time there is. Like when you're playing, like if you think about your own situation when you're playing, you always know like when there's like 5 seconds left or something. You're always fully aware of that. So I don't think you should put it past the team to have the responsibility or awareness to know something like that. Like, oh, did we kill that guy in Squeaky, or is he still alive?
Yeah, they should know that. Victor should be able to say like, yo, there's got to be one more because
exactly.
Zero that killed me and you didn't kill Zero, so he should be able to calm that from death.
Yeah, and he's nothing to do, right?
I mean, I guess there is kind of like the, oh my god, Bondic, that was sick, that last headshot there. If there's kind of the thing in Counter-Strike, like don't talk when I'm alive type of thing, which I don't know how the pros feel about that or deal with that sometimes. It seems stupid to have that rule set up, but someone should definitely be able to tell you like, yo, time's low, like 20 seconds. 15 seconds, like keep you
No,
on pace.
if you're dead, it's easier for you to call. So more often than not, like you can let someone frag and just like call for them politely, you know, about kills and stuff like that. And he should have been fully aware. You know, that's something where you press tab and you go, wait, Zero's not dead yet. You know, but again, that's something that does take a certain level of awareness. So.
Oh, Angel, 21 points.
Holy smokes.
Haven't seen a nade like that in a long time. That's Hellraisers. That's, I know it's just an eco for E-frag, but around like that, that's got to make Hellraisers feel so good. They might just be back in this thing.
I don't know why, just watching all those players, all their health bars go down, that was so satisfying.
We got Golden State here on the CT side.
Great. Yeah.
Alright, now E-frag, we're like, okay, watch out
for nades. That was like a
nades.
350 damage, couple of nades.
Yeah, did they throw 2 or 3? I think it was just the 2. Yeah, so they all hit perfectly. And we'll have a 1-for-1 trade out here at A. Bondic at the forklift, holding on. Again with that FAMAS, he had a sick triple kill earlier, but this time a nade. Victor getting some revenge for that last round. Will get himself an HE kill. And Oscar, I don't know if this is going to be expected. Yeah, he'll beat out Victor. He did fight back, and then Stico here pushing. Hellraisers have been getting pretty aggressive off of this A site. And now it's just going to be Bubble, AK, and Armor. What else do you need? Bubble's going to find one. Yeah, maybe nade, but, you know.
Wow, and they're going to show him what nades can do. Pushing him off of mid completely, and I don't know, is he making the big rotation back? The bomb is actually in a main, so there is potential that Hellraisers kind of give it up. Bubble is going to be running low on time though, as Hellraisers are not going to be playing anywhere that he's going to clear initially. The more the time ticks down and they see that the highway's clear again, the more that Hellraisers feel like they can take new spots, that they can play really far back. Yeah, have almost burned their last piece of utility here.
That Bubble, meanwhile, didn't have to worry about using any utility because he didn't have any. Time gets in the red, he pushes out and checks the wrong way. Oscar there at forklift. Oscar with 18 kills, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot, considering Hellraisers were getting pretty wrecked up until recently.
So consistently insane.
Yeah, he really is. For that one shot in middle this round, for this map.
No, E-frag 5-round lead. Armoring up after losing 4 in a row. I think, are they doing this because they have the money to? Yeah, so next round they're going to be able to buy in spite of this buy here. They've got a couple of smokes to cross A and hit it hard.
Smokes are going to go down. Bondic's in a good spot. He'll bounce off an incendiary. It does actually land in between all of the smokes, but Victor wrapping so quick on the site. Takes Bondic off the box. It's Stico on the catwalk. They both save the day. Double kill with the AK. Dreamer again. Oh, with the tech 9. Gets Stico while falling. And Spy Leader with the CZ as he works into A site proper. Finds a kill onto Angel. Zero will not let Dreamer off of default plant. And Molotov. Nicely done. That'll push Spy Leader off to the right.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. Zero played it right. But then forgot how to aim. 2-on-2.
They should have both been posted up on that cross. That's a guaranteed kill.
Now they've just got NKL to find, and there's his kill onto Oscar. Can't really play the bomb here, as it is just that standard default plant. He's going to peek out. He gets that AK. Zero's on the bomb. He's got off, so NKL, yeah, just him making the noise and running up will win out against Zero.
Strong. Holy smokes. Zero could have stuck that, but was just so sure NKL jumped out so quickly. It seemed like he was almost certainly going to try to defend the plant, and Zero peeked out right into his play, and NKL just outplayed him there. Well, really nice job. 2K on the round. Again, 2K on A site. NKL wins the round. Situation we've seen before, not in this half, but has put E-frag at 13 now, which is a critical amount of rounds.
It is, and Hellraisers at a point where if they lose this one, they're going to get reset, and that should allow E-frag to get to a pretty simple match point. Bubble going to be doing the dance. There are actually 3 people in B initially, and now they will boost one out. So they're playing a 1-2-2 with one person on the A site.
We've got the terrifying E-frag default. The extremely passive, you know where they're standing, but you can't find a way to kill them because it's a so well calculated default. You pretty much just have to wait for them to come into you, and then you have to hope that you can deal with their map control that they take slow and meticulously. Which, even if you know what's coming. Oh, does so much damage. 190 damage there. Definitely done his part at mid. He gets the kill. Shuts down the aggression quite a bit. But E-frag are already setting up for the A split. Nkale and Squeaky and Stiko to help Bondic out on the site.
Bondic actually had the angle of A main, but when the door opened, he shifted in the sight over to Quad. They haven't seen him yet. He'll bring down 2, Bomb included in that bubble trying to cross. He hasn't quite cleared Quad out yet. Now, up on E-box and then on Highway.
I saw it happening.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bubble looked like he was about to pull that off. That was very, very close for him, but Hellraisers, they keep 2 alive, and they will find their 8th round. Also resetting E-frag here, so they'll have to take a bit of an eco round themselves.
I would have won that. I mean, that is me, Shroud, of course.
Yeah. I hear Shroud wins 1v3s.
Yeah, true. So, E-frag had that down to 2 players, but didn't get the reset that they were looking for. And they themselves now are on kind of a broken buy. Angel takes a lot of damage at mid. A lot better of a start for them than it was last round. He's pushed off, and there's 3 players on the A site, though. Since he got there, would that mean that he's going to be able to get a kill now? And it looks like he will.
They're having some struggles. And MKL, I don't know what that was. Come to him and he was like swapping back to the Tech 9. I don't know if it was like jinsing a reload or what. But he goes down, and E-frag don't make very many games on that round, and they actually spent quite a bit of money. So they're kind of broke. Hellraisers are certainly bringing this one back. Should be finding double digits here in round 23.
Going B there would have been the correct play, but we have to try to figure out, well, did they know that? And the only info that they had was that Angel fell off the highway onto A site, so I think they assumed that he was trying to assist the other man on A, and that there was only one person in Angel with 10 HP, and so I think in their minds going A made a lot more sense, but in reality, Hellraisers have been playing 2 at A
Oscar?
along with Angel at mid.
There's one for Oscar. He's just going to have to stand his ground. There's no getting out of this one. They've wrapped on it, but Zero coming in to save the day. Oscar, one more P250, 1 tap onto Victor. He does fall, but the op going to be picked up here by Angel. And there it is, 10 rounds. A quick mid-vent B hit from E-frag. It will fall short.
Or maybe the strategy is Oscar plays B. Therefore, it's obvious what site to go to every round.
Yeah, go A every round.
No further calculations required. And now Hellraisers 13 are to 10 to the 13 rounds of E-frag. Basically have to just stand strong. I mean, they are doing exactly what they need to do on CT side, hitting all their shots, winning the economic battle. E-frag have pretty much to get. They just have to get over one more hurdle essentially after this rifle round if they're to win it. Which I guess isn't a small feat considering they've only won 1 T round.
Yeah, which is surprising. We've actually seen E-frag the last couple of days with really strong CT sides, which is so different than what I, generally remember from E-frag. Always just running at people on their T side and dominating anyone that's close to the same skill level or less skilled than them, But, I mean, making that effort, making that push to take down the top teams, E-frag will have to adjust their play, and maybe they have. Finding them these CT sides. Oh, smoke gonna go down. Kind of a weird place to put it. That's gonna funnel Angel in, so there's only one place to check, and Angel kind of obliges them, right? He runs right into that little slot, and he gets taken out.
Yeah,
did do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, Angel he puts himself in tough spots, but he gets the kills. So yeah, I agree with that.
Oscar up top.
Ooh.
Oh, bubble!
What do you do about that? I don't even know how that could have been a non-wallbang headshot.
That's just about to say that. How is that not a wallbang? I don't understand. We'll have to pull out the protractor, crunch the numbers.
Oh, I guess from Oscar's perspective, he could. There's no.
Because Oscar's way closer to the
Yeah.
actual edge, so he can't see over it, but Bubble still can because he's further away. Yeah, it's got the wider angle, but in this case, it's a vertical one instead of having it be around corners or boxes or something. I don't know, man. I was good at math once upon a time.
Yeah.
I think I still am.
We got the timeout now for for E-frag. We're taking a tactical.
Like to
That's
see
probably
it.
a good time to do it. Now, E-frag have come close to winning these rifle rounds. I mean, there's no, you can look at some of these both halves actually. Both teams have come very close to winning a lot of their rounds, and yet it's just been extremely CT sided, with the CTs irking it out in the 2v1, the 2v2, the 1v1, maintaining the economy of their team. And now Hellraisers have like quite a bit of pocket money. E-frag have 3K apiece, so most likely you're gonna buy off. Now, one thing I realized actually is like it's super awkward to call attack on an eco. Super awkward to do that because after the rifle round wins, that's when all your or after you lose the rifle round, that's when all the ideas about what went wrong in that round are fresh in your mind. So to call it after the eco, after you would have potentially talked about the rifle, it seems weird. So instead, the people pause after the ecos, even though it doesn't make sense from a spectator perspective, because that gives them time to talk about something that they want to use right after they talk about it. I mean, they could use it as a refresher and call the pause right after the rifle, but typically we don't see that. And that's pretty much why. But from the outside perspective, it doesn't really make sense to call a pause on an eco.
Yeah, we actually saw Penta the other day just mess about in spawn, the Swedish eco, as people like to call it, instead of using a timeout, which I feel like, yeah, you lose it around 100%, right? Not like there's a good chance you win it anyways, just like full Glocks or P250s or something. Pretty low that you win the round, but you actually play out a whole round and you have one team that's still, I think it works better when you're on the T side, because the CTs are still just going to watch everything and watch their angles and like start to doubt themselves. Kind of like cleaning the palette of the CTs. Like they start to forget what maybe your tendencies were or where you were going every round after they all hold one angle for a minute and 55 seconds. And then, of course, you can just take your time to chill out, talk about the next round, and then preserve a timeout too, right? Because a lot of times we'll see those timeouts when it gets down to the wire, and you almost see teams pull out a calculator and just figure out absolutely everything that they can buy. How can they stretch their money? What's the best buy they can get? Push this into OT or something like that.
I heard someone say that we missed Zero's great play. I think he was on the B site on default, and that was the 2v2, and he just stayed up on default when they ran up headshot to plant. And then he peeked out and got the planter and then stayed alive. That was really good. Staying alive is so important on CT side. That's like one of the most, or the least talked about things that you could possibly do. There was like a couple of great rounds at DreamHack. They had like Weatherman Yanko segment where he pointed that out. It was so nice to see him point that out because I don't know if you watched the games. It was like NIP on.
Fortunately, Cobble. I did not. I was casting these. And I've not gone back to check the tapes.
Assault.
So you're telling me that the official band of the CT side are the BGs? Your only goal is staying alive? Eh?
Yeah.
I don't know if Thorn would approve, but I'd like to say a reference to him on point. NKL, all your teammates are dead. And you bought armor here.
Yeah, lost bonus. So.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So they just he evened it up. Probably not everyone had armor, but everyone now will be able to sustain a buy here. No ops though, unless they go glass cannon. And that would be Bubble to do it, and no, he doesn't. All AKs.
Uncle Scout said Questone was the problem.
Yeah, no, I've been seeing that spammed. They were spamming that when it was like 13-2 or 12-3.
Oh, really?
They were like, Questone was the problem. I'm like,
Questone was so good.
Questone
I mean, they're
was
joking.
sick. Yeah.
That's what they're joking about, right?
Yeah, I assume it's
because he was super good. I honestly thought they just had a good lineup right there with Questone. Like someone random, who cares? He's really good.
Yeah, I think that's almost better sometimes, right? Like, don't get me wrong, Bondik's a sick player, but I mean, he's kind of a known entity at this point, whereas maybe with Questone you were getting something more, maybe even something special. They made his own banner too. Remember they put Questone's name on the Hellraisers Steam
Oh yeah,
icon.
he got an yeah.
He got a
used
Steam
huge
icon.
rager or something.
I don't know, man.
I can't think of anything else. You put numbers on the board.
We'll just have to ask Vladislava.
You get your own display picture. Probably just a closet rager, and they found out like one weekend.
Maybe they were just concerned because they didn't know if it was Questone or Quest 1, and they just couldn't deal with it anymore. Deco to even it up. He finds Victor out there in the middle. Bondic, he's been playing up on top of this red box constantly. Like either on the red box or falling off onto the wooden box in sight to get that headshot angle onto A main. And he's... Bondic
okay,
still gets that kill though because he will re-peek. And then trying to deal with Bondic and Kales, you know, at full mental capacity. Doesn't check for Stiko.
What
and then
even
comes away
happened
with
there?
2.
E-frag just puttered to a halt.
Yeah.
Just trinkled out of A main, died. There's a Harley Davidson outside of my house.
Yeah, I heard that. Launders rides a motorcycle. Calm down, ladies.
Ladies?
Oh, maybe there's a few watching. Would you buy a Harley?
Would I buy a Harley?
Yeah.
No.
Any type of motorcycle, or
Yeah, sure.
well, so what, like Suzuki or like Kawasaki or
Probably some Japanese
Honda?
shit.
All right. Here's E-frag not stalling out, just slamming themselves onto this A site and taking it and having a man advantage. They've got Zero and Oscar left to retake on the side of Hellraisers. Why do games always do this? Hellraisers work so hard to bring this back into a tie, and then it gets tied up, and then immediately E-frag might just take this lead back. Or will they? Because actually, that kill came out pretty early on. There's still time here. Molotov might just kill Dreamer, who's on 2 HP. No! Zero! He was cycling the nades, and that Molotov pushed him out into the open, or pushed E-frag out into the open.
Should have bound each of his nades, am I right?
Yeah. Well, you only do that because you have to, don't you? Because you have the left-hand knife
so I
script.
can pull out, like...
They're bound by default, you know.
What do you mean?
Nades are bound on 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0, like by default.
I can't reach that far, and I have like the
Yo,
biggest
what do you
hands
mean?
ever.
You play Brood War, you got that.
Yeah, that's so different. I don't have to be holding WASD for the entire time.
True.
Oh, and after that round, they just they tried to turn up the heat, turn up the tempo. Oh my god, they got destroyed. How much money do they have? Not much at all. They only kept 2 alive on that previous round, and oh my gosh, that's it. Hellraisers just shut down that round, and I'll have a free route to match point pretty much. After E-frag just try to run through smokes and split on a site without taking their time. E-frag take their time and usually win T rounds. I guess because it hasn't been working well half, they're trying to speed
they
it
just
up, but...
you know, they just like threw that take our time plan away last round, stormed down into A, and it worked. Or well, not last round, but 2 rounds ago in round 27, and then they tried to do it again, it doesn't work, and I guess just Foot was fully pressing down the gas pedal at that point. Or the... can't really call it a gas pedal on electric cars, right? Like, what is it called? I don't know. Spy Leader will kill Angel, though. So a chance E-frag on a bit of a half buy to maybe still at least force this into OT or close it out. But Bondic working around Forklift, and he's just got to stay alive, just fall back. He's actually going to wrap into this. No, he does not wrap into the side. He's coming back over to Bubble with that 5-7 outed. We'll see Bubble trying to lead through those smokes. Bondic says only CTs can go sneaky beaky like and get out of that smoke. But the NKL and Victor shots hitting the wall concerning Victor. NKL with the Galil will take down Bondic. Someone's about to get glocked. No, Oscar will stand. And with that op, gets that frag. Stiko to close it out with a frag onto NKL. And that's Hellraisers at match point. And E-frag, you know, freshly reset, forcing there to play for the win, have now played themselves.
I mean, Hellraisers actually get it to match point. I mean, they won it off of just the back of a pistol, standing up to the fortified defenses of E-frag, picking apart their map control, which they're so known for being good at, a strong CT half, which they had to come back from mentally, and now are just one away from ending it right here. E-frag with a very, very low buy. I think technically done this on one of the 2 rounds that they've won, but can they do it again? We'll see. You've got a lot of Hellraisers postured up to defend against B. Just Bondnik on A, with actually 4 players in A main. And I think there's a little bit of presence at B. Bondnik's gonna see this. Does a lot of damage, but will he stay alive?
Yeah, he's lined him up, only 4 bullets. I'm surprised he didn't pull out that 5-7 earlier, because they only had one option, and that was run into the site and come close. Actually, 2 of the Gleals have done some damage. Bubble lurking out here in middle. He's gonna go down. The Deagle. Sometimes it can be a little uncontrollable. Fire. Oh! And KL's there too. He ate that nade with his face. He's going to go down. Now it's just at the spy leader. They know where he is because he's just got a kill, and that'll be that. Hellraisers make one hell of a comeback. They will take cash. 16-14 from a 12-3 half. That was advantage E-frag. And now, I don't know who banned what, but map 2's overpass, I assume that's the pick of Hellraisers.
Wow, look at the kills. Bondnik actually stepped up so big on CT side. Everybody had 20 or 22 kills on Hellraisers. Or I guess between 20, 24, and 21 kills. And then even on E-frag, the distribution was between 22 and 18.
Yeah, and that just proves the point on even when teams were winning rounds, a lot of them were extremely close with just 2 people living or 1 person living on the team that won, and that's why the kills are so neck and neck. And don't forget to add 1 to Angel, as he killed Oscar earlier on. So 25 kills is technically the top frag there.
True.
And 89 points. 2 ADR, second highest. Stico 89.8. So well played to Hellraisers to make the comeback. Map 2's overpass. You're watching a CEVO-Gfinity Season 9 Pro League. I'm Helium, with me Launders. You can get us on Twitter at HeliumBrella, at SoarLaunders. And we'll take a quick commercial break. See you on the flip side.